guys, welcome back to another weekly vlog. If you're new here, my name's Lottie. This week we are going to be talking about what happened over my daughter's very special 9th birthday. We had planned a sleepover with just her best friend, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this week's vlog, including what we got her for her birthday, the setup we went for, and how we kept it low cost and big fun. This weekend was Delilah's birthday. She has just turned 9. To celebrate, we started on Friday evening when we decided to take the kids bowling. We went to the White Rose Shopping Centre in Leeds, and we'd never been to this bowling alley before, but we tried Kingpin's bowling there and it was brilliant. The whole setup was just fantastic. There was so much to do in that little area of Kingpin's. It was great. So we had to go at bowling, we had a couple of drinks whilst we were doing that. We let the kids play in the arcade, and we also had a go at iceless curling, which was quite fun. The kids both really loved that. It's very hands-on and they could run up and down a little bit because it's quite quiet at the time that we went. We then took them both to Five Guys, which we had mixed reviews on. Not in terms of food or anything about the restaurant, just the way that the kids eat, basically. So Delilah really loved it. Ewan refused to eat anything, which isn't unnormal for Ewan. It's not something that doesn't happen. He refuses to eat in a lot of different places. So he didn't like Five Guys. He decided that he wasn't going to try a thing, not even a fry. So that was fun. So after that point, we went to the park, which is near Five Guys, let them play for half an hour, and then we headed off through Marks and Spencer's so that the birthday girl could pick up her very own birthday cake. Usually I make one, but with the summer holidays and the move and everything's getting packed up in boxes, and just the fact that I've been trying to keep them entertained 24/7, I didn't end up making our own cake this time. So we had an absolute blast at the White Rose. Delilah loved it. We got them home, sent them to bed. The next morning we woke up and surprised Delilah with her presents. She hadn't asked for anything, so we had to kind of think realistically what would be good for a 9-year-old, because in the real world she doesn't really play with toys anymore. She does like to do crafts, but there's only so much craft stuff you can buy her because we've still got a house full from everything that she already owns. So we have decided to cave, and we got her her first mobile phone. Now, I know that this is pretty young to get a mobile phone, but it is a fully parent guided mobile. We have an app that traces everything she's doing on there. It has a tracker in there. It has parental controls switched fully on. There's no social media or anything like that. So we're kind of pleased with the phone at the moment. Things might change, I don't know. She absolutely loved getting the phone. She's loved being able to talk to her cousins, or a kids message app, which we were given details about from our family members who were already using it. Both my niece and my eldest nephew have this message app already on their devices, so on tablets or phones that they've been given already. Like, I feel like we're a little bit late to the party on the phone thing, actually. I still think 9 is very, very young, and each to their own. But I know for my child, she doesn't go anywhere without me or dad, or she's with a grandparent. If she does go somewhere, I don't let her wander around. She is very much she's very young for her age, so it's not something that we're comfortable doing, but we are getting to the point where she's going to have to practice messaging people, as in text messages, to say she's got to a place or she's on her way to a place or whatever for school purposes when she gets to high school, and just getting used to how she's talking to people, family members. That's all she's got on her phone. We will be letting her have some of her friends on there. And the main reason we've caved is because of our house move. So if we weren't moving house, this wouldn't have even been a consideration. But I feel a bit mean taking her away from her friends. Now the move is to get her out of, or get both the kids out of, our postcode area and the school options for high school. One of the reasons why we're moving is to get her away from that high school that we have got as an option. It doesn't have great reviews. I'm sure some people have had a great time with it, but we have 2 son children and it has to be a real consideration. So one of the reasons we're moving is because of that. So she won't have total access to her friends. I mean, currently she sees her friends every day at school, and to take that completely away from her, move her to a new house in a new town and give her no access to anyone she knows, I think would be mean. It happened to me as a child because my parents moved me from a primary school and decided that I was going to a completely different middle school at the time, so it was first, middle and high school. So they moved me out of that area to put me into a different middle school, which they thought would be better. I had to leave all my friends behind, and that was really hard. I went to a school and I didn't know anybody, so not even being able to message or talk to someone very easily at the end of a day where you've known absolutely no one is it's quite a hard thing to do, especially at 8 and 9. I mean, they're hitting puberty at this age. Friends are really important. So yes, we caved. We got the phone. We got her a few other little things. We got her a bath bomb making kit and a little bag to keep her phone in, and she was just utterly spoiled. Ewan bought her makeup and a chocolate bar that says sister across the front of it, which was really quite cute, and the biggest card from Moonpig I've ever seen. It just takes up the entire windowsill, which is where we put our birthday cards. So that was really lovely. Throughout the day on her birthday, she had family calling in, so I think the first people to arrive, who was the first? Oh, was my sister and her 2 girls. Her other half was working that day, so he couldn't make it. But they came and played for a little while. We all exchanged presents because it's my sister's birthday on exactly the same day, so we got to pass her present, and also my niece, whose birthday was a little while ago. So that was really nice to see everyone. I really love having them here. It's so nice when we all get together and just the kids play lovely, and yeah, it's just a nice time. So her cousin had made her this really gorgeous little box, and it was like, I don't even know if I can't show you it because Delilah's opened it and started using all the stuff. It had a little body spray in there and some little treat packs and face mask and lip balm and some keychains, and it was really cute, and she'd do okay actually probably selling them as a little birthday treat box because it was so cute, and I think anyone would be happy to get something like that on the birthday. Delilah definitely was. So thank you to my niece for that one because it was a really good idea. She has been, like I say, absolutely spoiled. So after my sister and her girls came, we had my nephews and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law show up, and they spent a lot of the day with us, which is what we'd planned because we really didn't know what we were going to do on the actual day. Delilah knew she wanted the sleepover, so that was kind of the main event. Obviously the bowling the night before, but we had the best time. So yeah, a sister-in-law and brother-in-law came with their boys, and my dad came with his partner, and then my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, came with their daughter. So all the kids got to play together at some point and had the best day, but it was a very quick turnaround. So once everybody had left, I had to blitz the whole house for the second time that day and then go collect Delilah's best friend. her parents don't drive, so we went to pick them up. Obviously didn't want them walking back and forwards just to drop her off. That would have been really a daft idea when it only takes me 5 minutes to drive there. So I collected Delilah's best friend. They came, Delilah and her best friend just cracked on with the sleepover. And bless her, her best friend is absolutely petrified of dogs. So as you know, we've got a little wiry-haired dachshund called Nancy. And Nancy's very barky and is such a breed trait. So Nancy will bark at literally every single noise. And if you're walking in the house, she'll just bark and bark and bark until she is confident that you are absolutely no threat and that you are going to be her friend. So if you come in and ignore her, and you've got the ability to do that, and then just sit down, and then she'll come and sniff you, give her a stroke, she's perfectly fine. But bless, because her best friend, Delilah's best friend, was so worried and frightened of the dog, and Nancy wouldn't shut up barking, and her little friend kept like literally running out of the room and straight up the stairs. So then Nancy had calmed down when she wasn't in the room, but then she'd come back downstairs and then Nancy had started barking because she's a bit like, who is this in my house? So the night was a case of the girls hiding up in Delilah's bedroom, which to be honest was the plan anyway. I'd set them everything up to have a night kind of independently of us. They had movies. We set up, or I set up a craft trolley, so it had a couple of different crafts on there and some surprises for them and snacks. And we also set up a little mini fridge in our bedroom, which she thought was brilliant. It's something, I know that is so extra, but it's something that I've had my eye on for quite some time, for skincare bits and bobs. So the fridge will still be used. I'm leaving it in Delilah's room for now, but I will be claiming it back once we move house, and that's going to be like a little bit of a skincare fridge for face masks and those little jade roller things and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that will be reclaimed, but currently it's in Delilah's bedroom holding cans of pop and chocolate bars, because that's apparently what 9-year-old girls want to put in their fridge. Yeah, so they had the best time. I think realistically the crafts went down very well, but they were very quick to do it. So Delilah has a little bit more sticking power, but I don't think her friend wanted to spend too much time on those crafts. I think they were very much into the gaming side of things, so they enjoyed a few games together. We let them play the Xbox as well with age appropriate games, and I think they had a good time. I hope they had a good time. They were as good as gold though, honestly. They were a little bit chatty when it was coming to bedtime, so our rule was that they could stay up until Rob and I went to bed, and once we went to bed and the lights went off, it was no talking and just get on with going to sleep basically, or be as quiet as you can at least. So Ewan went to bed at about 10:30. I think he managed to stay up till, because we wanted to give him that space alone. But Ewan is like a dead weight when he sleeps, so as soon as he is asleep it's very difficult to wake him up with a noise. So it wouldn't have mattered if the girls were singing or shouting or jumping or screaming at the top of their lungs, he would have stayed asleep, and he did. So he managed to get a good night's sleep once he went, and then I think I came upstairs about 11:30, 11:45, and got ready for bed and got in bed and told them it was time for lights off and to settle down, and they did. To be fair, they got a little bit chatty. I reminded them once and they went straight to bed. They were very good, and I am not going to tell you otherwise. I was exhausted by the end of it anyway, I think, because I was so aware that Delilah's friend didn't like Nancy. I was very conscious because Nancy just wants to be with everybody. So in the morning, actually, she did incredibly well. She came downstairs to have some breakfast with Delilah and Ewan, and she did let Nancy come and have a sniff, and she stroked her, and she actually fed her a dog treat, and I was so proud of her because she was so brave. I know it's not easy when you don't like something and you're frightened of it, so she did incredibly well. So she spent the morning with us, and at about 11:30, nearly lunchtime, I dropped her back off at home so she could spend the rest of the weekend with her parents and her sister. I hope that she had a nice time, I really do, because Delilah had a blast. She ended up having a bit of a come down though afterwards. She was very quiet for the rest of the day, and that could have been tiredness, or it could have been the fact that she just wasn't with her best friend anymore. I don't know, but they both had a really nice time, and it was a pleasure to have them both there because, like I said, they were as good as gold, really. There was no issues. So first sleepover was a thumbs up success. Yeah, I think the birthday went down well, and I am so glad that the weekend just past has marked 2 weeks left of the summer holidays. I feel exhausted this holiday. It has been hard. It's been so hot and relentless outside that we've not actually spent much time outside, which is something that I actually quite like to do. I like to be outside. I like to be on walks or at the park or in the garden, and because it's been so hot, it's been ridiculously hard to keep up with that. So we've hidden for a fair few days inside. We've done a few things, but this week it's actually taken a turn on the weather, and it's really quite dark. I'm actually under the big lights on. You never have the big light on, but the big light is on just for filming this, so no, the lighting is not all that, but outside it looks like storm clouds are brewing. We are expecting rain, but it's making me feel very autumnal, which I'm quite glad of because of the long hot summer that we have had so far. This rain is so welcome. It's definitely making me feel very cosy. It's also making me think about decorating the house, and I have come to the conclusion after a quick chat with my sister-in-laws this weekend. They were like, well, you're just going to swap the stuff out and you're taking everything with you anyway, so put the decorations out. So that's exactly what we'll be doing. We will be decorating this house on the first week in September, so that I do not miss out on autumn decorating and all those gorgeous autumn colours and the coziness of that month's season. Yeah, so we'll be doing that shortly. But yeah, 2 weeks left. Not even 2 weeks, it's like a week and a half until they go back to school now, and I think they're both ready for that little bit more of a structured day, because it's something that we struggle with. We struggle with transitions in this house, so if you are a SEN parent or you have any kind of SEN issues yourself, you will totally know what I mean. But getting from one place to another or moving from one activity to another is the hardest thing ever. When you're in a routine of it, it's not too bad. So school mornings, the first week back to school is going to be utter chaos until we sink back into that routine. But during the holidays, for example, I am a carer for my grandma, as some of you will know, and I have to take the kids every day with me to make sure that my grandma's alright. She's up, she's had a tablet, she's had breakfast, all that kind of stuff every morning through the week. This holiday has been hard, so the kids don't always want to come with me, so getting them to go from our house where they're cosy and chilling out and doing what they feel like, to have to go to grandma's house where there isn't their stuff or there isn't the ability to lounge about, which is what my kids do best. That's quite difficult, so we've ended up going later than what I would like to do. Normally I'm there at my grandma's by like 9 o'clock, 9:30 latest, and we've been turning up at about 10, 10:30, sometimes even 11, because it is hard getting them motivated to put their shoes and socks on a morning. I feel like, it's the biggest challenge of the day until after that point. So yeah, it's been hard. They're ready for a routine, and I think they're ready to go back to school. I'm certainly ready for them to go back to school and have a bit more of a routine. I'm also ready to start packing up this house. I'm getting slightly impatient and slightly giddy at the prospect of getting everything boxed up, labelling it off for the rooms that it will be going to, and actually moving, because it feels like it's taking forever, and both me and Rob have said the same thing, that we just want to be in the new house now. I know that's not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to happen instantly. We've probably got another 2 months wait to do. But in the meantime, once the kids are at school, I can be packing up. I've already done a few boxes, but I can get my packing done. I'll do a box at a time, everything we don't use first, obviously, and then go from there. I'm calling removal companies this week in order to arrange some quotes for moving us. We want one of those companies that are going to come in and take things apart and then reassemble at the other end. I think that's so important for us because it's just going to be chaos. Depending on what day this move lands, we don't know if the kids are going to be at school. We don't know what time we'll be moving, so we have no information whatsoever. And we could do with it being as easy and seamless as possible. So a removal company has been recommended. I have 2 recommendations, one of which I did not rate in the slightest because after talking to the guy and he came and quoted, he was a very nice chap, but he just decided to tell me that he wasn't going to beg for the custom. So I was like, well, that's not a good start. I mean, I don't want you to beg. I'd never ask anyone to beg for a job, but don't come and advertise your business to me and then tell me that you're not going to beg because you're too busy to want to take on more work. So we're like, right, well, if you're too busy, I'll go elsewhere. So he's kind of like off my radar as far as house removal companies are concerned. I have messaged 2 more since then, 2 or 3 more. One's yet to get back to me, and the other one, I assume that they are not going to get back to me. So I'll be messaging a couple of others. But if you're in a local area, which is the BD6 area of Bradford, please let me know your recommendations for moving companies if you have used them recently, because that would be really helpful. Or any tips on moving. Like unhinged tips, regular tips, anything. Because the last time we moved, we were 2 single people without children and with just 1 dog, and we were moving from a house where we could take our time because we didn't own the other house, we were renting the other house. So we had the house at our disposal, and if anything had gone wrong, we had the house still. This time round, it is totally different because we have to vacate this premises and make sure everything is out and also move straight into the other house without any hiccups, without any overnights, and yeah, it's filling me with a little bit of dread and a little bit of anxiety, but I'm sure we'll sort it out. So, all in all, we have had the loveliest, sweetest and slowest weekend for our girl's 9th birthday. I am so glad that she's had a nice time, and I cannot thank family and friends enough for spoiling her because she's just loved every second of it. So thank you guys if you're watching. Thank you for spoiling our girl, and thank you for wishing a happy birthday. Everyone who said happy birthday on Facebook and Instagram to her, that was so sweet of you. And I did show her every single one of the messages so she could see. Yes, but for now, this video is going to be slightly shorter. I know it's been our usual sit down and chat, but it's just a bit of a debrief this week. This video is going up on Wednesday, so happy Wednesday to you all. I hope you're having a good week so far, and I hope you continue to have a good week until I see you again. But for now, I'm going to sign out and get a very long and hot shower and sort my hair out because tomorrow morning I have to get up, get the kids ready and get them to soft play for 9 o'clock in the morning, and that seems very, very, very ambitious after the way things have gone so far this week. So wish me luck. Right, on that note, my loves, I will see you in the next one. Have the best week. Don't forget to let me know your recommendations for house moves below. Bye guys.
You're seeing a phone. Is it fake? I don't know.